Dates are everywhere right now. There's even a trend of replacing sugar with them. So what's the truth? Are dates actually healthy, or are they just another health hype? I'm Kristen, and this is Kristen Unpoisoned, where we take the poison out of everyday living. And today, we're gonna check out dates to see if they're worth adding to your diet. First, let's look at what's actually in dates, because that's what's most important. Later, we're gonna taste test some date syrup, date chocolate, and a date energy pouch. But first, let's take a look at nutrition. 2 medjool dates contain approximately 133 calories, consisting of 36 grams of carbohydrates, which are 3 grams of fiber and 32 grams of sugar, 0.07 grams of fat, and almost a gram of protein at 0.8 grams. 32 grams of sugar in just 2 dates sounds like a lot, and it is, but it doesn't actually spike your blood sugar. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but think about it. When you're eating a date, it's a whole food, so it's not just sugar. You're also getting the fiber and the protein and the fat in there with it. Dates actually have a low glycemic index between about 45 and 55, which means they have a slow, steady sugar increase, no actual spikes. For comparison, cane sugar, which basically has no nutrient density at all, it's just empty calories, it has a high glycemic index of around 65. And coconut sugar, which at least does provide trace minerals, has a low glycemic index as well. Actually, it's lower than dates, of around 35 to 54. But what makes dates better than coconut sugar is the fiber content. That fiber content makes the blood sugar response slower and more stable. And also because a date is a whole food, which is always preferable. Dates contain no added sugar, just the sugar that's naturally occurring within the date itself. Let's compare dates with something that you can get at the grocery store that has a very similar amount of sugar in it, but that isn't a good choice. I'm talking about Twinkies. So 2 dates have about 32 grams of sugar, and 2 Twinkies have about 31 grams of sugar. So 2 Twinkies actually have a little bit less sugar than 2 dates do. Does that make them healthier? No. You can see here that all 31 grams of Twinkie sugar is added sugar, right? That means that they had to isolate and add 31 grams of sugar to these things, none of it naturally occurring, which really this isn't even actual food if you look at it. So, I mean, of course they had to add it. And it looks like it's mostly table sugar and corn sugar. So it's completely void of any actual nutrition whatsoever, and it will definitely spike your blood sugar. Also, it has no fiber at all. Don't eat these things. Dates contain many vitamins and minerals like potassium, magnesium, manganese, copper, iron, and vitamin B6, and they're also high in antioxidants. So that's just another huge benefit of dates being a whole food instead of an extracted sugar. Okay, so now we know why dates are good, but what do they actually do for us? Dates are perfect when you need a burst of energy, like before or after a workout, because they contain all those natural sugars, along with some of the minerals we were talking about, like potassium and magnesium. Dates are also high in fiber, which makes them great for digestion. One human study, I'll link it in the description below this video, it found that people who ate dates regularly had more frequent bowel movements and improved markers of colon health. Dates also contain electrolytes like potassium, which help with muscle function and fluid balance, which is great for workouts and in the summer when it starts getting really hot. So now we understand why dates are healthy and what they can do for us, but what do you do with them?
What's this? It's a date. You eat them.
Like Indiana Jones says, you eat them. They're delicious, so good just by themselves like this, but you can also open them up and put chocolate in there or any kind of nut butter. You can even make them savory and put anything you want in there, and they are so good just like that. You can also get fancy and add them to smoothies or make super clever desserts that don't have any added sugar in them. One of my favorites to make is these avocado fudge bars from Grazed and Enthused. I love making them, especially when the weather's warm. They're so good. You can also buy date products. I'm sure you've seen them popping up everywhere just like I have. I mentioned earlier about taste testing a few date products, so let's get to that. First, we have date syrup from Date Lady. Date Lady makes date paste, date sugar, chocolate spread, and even date sauces. I picked up a date syrup because I was out of maple syrup and I was super curious what this would be like. I've been putting it in my homemade hot chocolate, which, yes, I drink a lot. And I even tried it in a savory dish. I was making ground beef, just like a stir-fried ground beef, and I drizzled this in there. Surprisingly delicious. But I have not tried it plain yet, just by itself, so I thought I would do that and tell you what the actual taste by itself is like. Wow, that's so interesting by itself. It's really similar to molasses, which is weird because I didn't really get a molasses taste when I was putting it in drinks or in my beef stir fry. It didn't give molasses, but it's not exactly the same because I'm not really a fan of molasses. It has more of a bitter taste than eating just a plain date. It's a bit more bitter, less sweet. So I wouldn't be just drinking this out of the container like I do maple syrup. But it is really, really good in stuff, and it's not bad by itself, but like, you don't really need to eat it that way anyway. Next is date chocolate. This is Spring and Mulberry's plain, pure dark chocolate bar. It's just cacao beans, dates, and cacao butter. So no added sugar in it or anything like that. It's just sweetened with dates. Just broke off myself a piece here. It smells really good. I think this might be my new favorite dark chocolate bar. It is so smooth, so beautiful. It has just the right amount of sweetness in there. It really balances the bitter with the sweet wonderfully, and it's so smooth, so velvety. That is really good. And then we have Datefix Original Whole Food Energy Snack, which is a little pouch of just medjool dates and orange blossom water. I wondered about the orange blossom water, so I went to their website to figure out what that was about. So it looks like it's just water from the Citrus aurantium tree, which is really exciting because that's the same tree that produces 3 amazing essential oils. Neroli, which is one of my absolute favorites. That's made from the flowers, which I guess that's where the water comes from as well. Also, bitter orange essential oil comes from that tree, from the fruit, the rind of the fruit from the tree. And then there's petite grain essential oil, which comes from the leaves of the tree. So that's a pretty amazing tree, and I'm very curious what the water is going to taste like in the dates. It makes sense that they need some kind of water in there just to make it a gel and to really make it all come together and make it easy to carry with you. If you look at reviews for it, it looks like a lot of people use this like athletes, people that run marathons or that do long endurance sports like that. They often need something. This is probably the most natural thing they're going to find, because there are like all these weird, very much not natural gel packets that long distance runners and people will use, but this is touted as a great alternative. And I'm about to have a workout when I'm done recording this video, so I'm going to go ahead and have this now. So I don't know if you can see, it's this like gel. It looks like ground up dates. It smells like dates and then slightly floral. It takes just a minute. At first it tastes just like dates that have been kind of made into a paste, but then after just like half a second, you get this kind of burst of floralness as well. I never would have thought of pairing the two, but this is really, really good. And it's got 1 gram of protein, 2 grams of fiber, 16 grams of sugar, 0 fat. Yeah, I can see how this would be amazing for workouts. Or it would be great when you're doing like a road trip or something and need some fast food, or, you know, airplane food or something like that. Yeah, this will definitely be on my list of convenience food to take with me when I'm traveling. With all their benefits, it makes sense that dates are having a well-deserved moment right now, doesn't it? Of course, you can't sit there and eat like a whole bag of them. You gotta eat them in moderation, but for most people, they're a good idea to add to the diet. I've been eating dates pretty much my whole life, and I did not realize until now just how good they are for you. What's your favorite way to eat dates? Also, what's your favorite date product? I would love to know if there's any hidden gems out there like Datefix I hadn't heard of yet. If you found this helpful, please give it a like. That helps other people find it, and it helps me out a lot too. Keep living an unpoisoned life, and I'll see you next time.